It is, it is, it is, it is. Better, better to say too, to say too little, say too little then too, little then too much, then too much then too, much too little say, to say much, better say much, better than say, too much then say, it is much, too little matter, to say matter. Obsessions are the only things that matter, only matter too much. Obsessions are, it is matter, it is obsessions, it is only, it is obsessions that matter. It is, it was, it is, it will be, better to, best to say, to say enough, to say little enough, say too little, too little than less, less than too much, much than less, then too much than less, much less to say, much too little to say less, to say better say less, better than saying, better too much than said, too much was much, too little that matters, too little to say that matter. Possessions, possessions are where the only pieces only pieces that things that shatter only shatter too much. Possessions are it was shatter matter, it was possessions. Obsessions. It was only. It was possessions. It that is matter. Obsessions that matter. It is. It was. It is. It will be. Better to, best to say enough, to say little enough, say too little than less. Less than too much than less, too much than less, much less to say less, better than saying, too much than said, it was much, too little that matters, to say that matters. Possessions are where are the only pieces that things that shatter only shatter too much. Possessions are, it was shatter, it was possessions, it was only, it was possessions that matter. It is. It was. It will be. Better to, best to say enough, to say little enough, say too little than less, less than too much than less, too much than less, much less to say less. Better say less. Better than saying. Too much than said. It was much. Too little that matters. To say that matters. Possessions are where are the only pieces that things that shatter too much, matter, possessions are, it was shattered, it was possessions, it was only, it was possessions, that matter, obsessions that matter. Obsessions are, obsessions were, obsessions will be, are the only things that matter, things that matter too much, matter too little to matter, too little than much, too much than little, much less than too less than much, less than nothing than saying, less than saying. It was said, to say nothing, to say less than, to say just enough, better to say too little than too much, it is too much, it is better to say too little, it is better to say too little than too much. Obsessions obsessions are, obsessions were, it will be, obsessions will be, better are the only things to say enough, things that matter, to say little that matter too, say too matter too much, too matter too less, too less than matter much, too little much than less, too much than less, much less to say, much less than to say less, less than better say less, nothing better than saying. Less too much than said. It was much to say nothing. Too little much matters. Less than to say just enough. Possessions. Better obsessions. Possessions are. Better possessions are the too little than are the pieces too much. Only than too much that it is too much that it is shattered. It is better to say. It is better to say too much. It is better to say possessions are. It was matter. It was possessions. Obsessions. It was only. It was possessions that matter. Obsessions that matter. Obsessions are the only things 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 that matter.